Hey guys, Dylan Sider with Kinfolk Carpentry here, and today we're going to be talking about the Milwaukee M12 power planer and why I think this is the best tool I've bought in recent memory, and why I think it's worth a buy if you're in the finished carpentry space or the cabinet making space. This is a game changer. The reason I use this so much, I find myself grabbing it instead of using another tool. So when I used to have to taper a piece of trim from a 1/4 inch to nothing, I used to go to a table saw. Now I grab this. If I used to want to take 1/8 of an inch off of a door, I would grab a track saw. Now I grab this. If I wanted to scribe a piece of baseboard to a hump in the floor, I grab this instead of a block plane. And the reason I use it so much is it's so small, whereas a big plane, you kind of had a hard time keeping it square to your piece and maneuvering it in really odd ways, where this, it's just so small, you can kind of tilt it and move it, and it's not a strain on your arm. Yeah, it just doesn't take up a lot of space. It's a great little compact tool, and I use it all the time. All right, so here's some of the rundown of it. I like to use a bigger battery on it, a 4 or a 5 amp hour battery. It has a safety trigger here, so you pull that down before you start it up, and it has a battery indicator here on how much is left in your battery. It has a little kickstand underneath to keep the blades from hitting the ground or wherever you're sitting it. It does allow you to rabbet a good amount there, as you can see there. Allows you to rabbet out a piece. This here is the way you adjust which way your dust shoots. Shoot it left or right. And it also comes with an attachment for a vacuum that just clips on there. So, and you can put that on either side, which is really nice. Your adjustments are anywhere from less than a 64th of an inch all the way up to 5/16, which is nice. And you have extra blade storage right here. Extra blade storage that slides right in behind here. And it also has the Allen key in the side that fits under here to remove the blades. Carbide tipped, which means they'll last a lot longer, and they're double-sided, so you actually get 4 blade changes. I've had this about a year, and I was power planing a bunch of fiberglass like shower panels, so that dulled them. So I have rotated them, and it's a pretty easy process to just swap the blades out. I've owned this tool for about a year exactly, so I have used it a lot. So, I mean, it's got general wear and tear on it, but I haven't noticed anything acting funny or strange. I mean, it's held up well. I don't keep it in the case. It just stays in like an open toolbox with all my Milwaukee stuff back here. So I guess it probably gets maybe tossed around a little more than some people that are really easy on their tools. But it's held up really well, and I think it's a pretty durable tool. It'll plane up to 2 1/8 inches wide. I like to keep a 5 amp hour battery on it. I will say it eats batteries pretty good. But if you're only looking to plane, a couple things real quick. I mean, you can use a smaller battery in it, and it works fine. But you will burn the battery out pretty quick using this. It uses quite a bit of power. I will say one thing that this is missing that most power planers come with is a fence. My other planer right here has a spot to put a fence. You basically screw it into here, and it will ride along a door to keep you square, or ride along anything to keep you square. This doesn't come with that. Honestly, I never used it when I used that one, so I don't really miss it. But if that's something that is important to you, then that's something to note. So bare tool, This thing hovers right around 200 bucks. You can get a little cheaper. And with a 5 amp hour battery and a charger, it usually runs about 300 bucks. And I think that's a great deal for this tool, especially because I use it all the time. I really am surprised how much I use this tool. This tool I've owned for 15 years, and I might have used it a dozen times. And the dozen times I used it, was probably not even for finish work. It was probably more for framing, like taking, planing down a floor joist that was high, or just like rough work, where this one is much more of a finish tool. I wouldn't necessarily use it for like framing stuff. Although, like, if you're in a pinch and you need to take like a 1/4 inch off of a joist or something and there's no nails in it, I think like this thing would work fine. But I don't think that's really what it's designed to do. So overall, go out and get it. It will really change the way you work. Big fan of this tool. Yeah, hope you like this review, and check out my other reviews on my channel, because I have some good ones on there, and I plan to keep doing these in the future.